of teachers who don't last the 5 years. I didn't last the 5 years in schools. I moved into further education, where I then did 20 odd. I loved it, but I loved working in the further and adult education sector more because the pressure was considerably less. And that was then, before the internet, before COVID, before local authority cuts that mean that the families you're working with are not getting the social services support that they need, they're not getting the mental health support that they need. Schools like the one where I'm a governor, one of the last remaining and absolutely splendid local authority schools in the area, are under pressure from academisation because the services and the support that they get from the county council are lessening by the day. We have privatisation by the back door, and it's scandalous. My stepdaughter is a teacher in a secondary school in Manchester, and I talked to her about her experiences before I came here today. And thinking about her life as a teacher and how much harder it is than mine was way back when, it has been a real lesson to me. The stress she's under, the way she feels after every weekly staff meeting, coming out of the staff meeting feeling stressed and worried about all the targets she's been set. The way that young people and their parents communicate constantly with her online, on her phone, etc., etc., etc. The sort of legacy of the COVID time has carried on. So she said last night she had an email from a student saying he'd lost his worksheet at midnight. She's expected to be able to respond, she's expected to be able to do all those things and still prepare lessons and still be bright and breezy the next day, etc. She has 30-something children, 35 I think children in her class, and the classroom isn't big enough and she doesn't have enough seats and enough tables, and when she asked the caretaker if she could have another table, he laughed and said there weren't any more tables or any more chairs, and the new young person who'd just arrived in her classroom would have to work at her desk. This is the reality that most of you live in. And so when the media portrays this as being about pay, we all know it's not about pay. It is about pay. Obviously, you need decent pay, but it's about conditions. It's about the circumstances you work in, the way that you are able or not able to respond to young people's needs. It's absolutely crucial that schools are funded properly, and most crucially, that any pay rise does not come out of school budgets. Talk about robbing Peter to pay Paul. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So what would we do as the Green Party? We're a real old-style socialist party. We still believe in Clause 4. We believe that public services should be in public ownership and they should be under local democratic control. So we believe that schools, colleges, all education institutions, as well as the likes of water companies, gas companies and whatever, should actually be public. We should get rid of this creeping privatisation. And funnily enough, I think that might actually release rather a lot of money to come back into the system to allow us to fund things properly. We believe in a 1% wealth tax on the wealthiest 1% in the country. We believe in taxing the likes of Amazon properly. Again, we'd put that money into public services. We believe, most crucially, in schools at the heart of their communities, in democratic control of schools and representation of schools, teachers and families further up the chain, so that your ideas, your influence, your knowledge actually feeds through, rather than everything to be being top down and somebody somewhere in Whitehall deciding that children need to know the dates of the kings and queens of England and that that's more important than actually instilling the love of learning or critical thinking. We believe that in proportional representation, because we would as a small party, but actually because we think that that will help develop coalition government, which will get people talking across the spectrum. And that, in turn, will stop the ping-pong that we've seen with policies between one government and another. We're going to take that apart because it was the other lot's idea, and even though it was a damn good idea, we're not going to support it. And in that regard, we believe in investment in early years, because that is crucial to make sure that the young people that are coming through are as well prepared and as well ready to learn as they possibly can be. Most crucially, we believe in investment, in the concept of investment. We're not talking about somebody's wearing a t-shirt, a couple of people wearing t-shirts saying I used to be a key worker and now I'm a greedy. whatever union person. Quite right. We're not about greed, we're not about spending money that we haven't got. We need to reallocate our resources and we need to invest. We need to think long term. If we put money into our young people now, they will have happy, productive lives. We know learning changes lives. We can't do that without funding and without government support. So carry on with your fight and we're absolutely with you, and anything we can do to help we will. Thank you.